The former MasterChef judge was diagnosed amid accusations of sexual misconduct. Gregg Wallace has spoken of a shock diagnosis he received after he was accused of sexual misconduct last year. The former MasterChef judge told the Daily Mail that he received an autism diagnosis at the height of the scandal last year, and said, "It does explain a hell of a lot to me." The 60-year-old said the diagnosis came about after he posted his infamous Instagram story response to the allegations where he blamed middle-class women of a certain age. Speaking to the Daily Mail, he said, "My world tumbled in. At this point my name is being linked with Jimmy Savile and Hugh Edwards. The abuse on social media is just phenomenal, and the stuff hitting the papers was. I think it's vital there are channels open for vulnerable people to complain if they are being bullied, harassed or made to feel uncomfortable, but the system hasn't been perfected. It doesn't work if the person is a public figure and everything becomes a public trial. Crying out loud, I had no idea where all these people were coming from. Then I went completely wild and blamed it all on middle-class women. It was the biggest mistake but, by far, the best thing I could have done. Wallace explained this was because someone from the MasterChef production team finally reached out to him as a result. He said he was left without support following the wave of allegations. He was the first person I'd spoken to in days. Nobody should be left on their own to face something like this. It's very difficult to explain the pressure unless you've been through it. I thought about suicide all the time. Is my insurance up to date? Will Anna get some money? She doesn't deserve this. It would be better if I wasn't here. The MasterChef exec said, "Mate, what are you doing?" I told him I had to speak out because people were saying what they liked about me and it wasn't true. I said, it just keeps on and on. What am I supposed to do? As a result, Banijay UK, MasterChef's production company, arranged for a crisis mentor to support Wallace. He described the mentor as the life raft he clung to, who insisted he have a mental health screening. Following the screening, he was diagnosed with autism. I want to make it absolutely clear I'm not blaming my behavior on my diagnosis, but it does explain a hell of a lot to me, he said. Although I'm still trying to compute why, if my persona on the telly was pissing so many people off for all those years, nobody told me at the time. Wallace said the diagnosis was not much of a surprise to those around him. John and I had an argument over what was traveling and what was going on holiday because I couldn't get a definitive answer. This has been going on for 2 years because so many of the contestants say they went traveling, but, to me, it sounds like they've been on holiday. The producers are like, "Mate, will you stay on the food?" I'm saying, "Number. I need to know what constitutes traveling." How long were you away? How many hotels? John's like, will you just ***ing drop it? The findings of the BBC's investigation into Wallace are expected to be released next month.